Class, now I will start with the exercise 1G, which is based on the Roman numbers. So in your previous class you have learned the Roman numbers till 100. Now we will learn the Roman numbers till 1000. Children, as you know that normally we use these symbols for writing the numbers. So these 10 symbols, there are 10 symbols which we use normally to form the numbers, and this system is called the Hindu-Arabic system, Hindu-Arabic numeral system. So this is Hindu-Arabic numeral system, but the Romans, they have a different system of writing the numbers. So they use 7 letters from the alphabets to form the numbers. So alphabets like A, B, C, D. So they use 7 alphabets to represent their numbers, and these alphabets are 1, I, V, X, L, C, D, and M. So these 7 symbols they use to form the numbers, and they don't have 0 in their number system, and all the numbers they form by using these 7 symbols only. So what these symbols stand for, that I stands for 1, V stands for 5, X stands for 10, L stands for 50, C stands for 100, D stands for 500, and M stands for 1000. So the Romans use these 7 symbols for writing numbers, and they have different rules for writing the numbers. And where have you seen these Roman numbers? Do you remember? When you enter your classroom, outside there is a board which tells you which class is this. So that board has a number in the form of Roman numerals. And if you have seen the watch, Big Ben watch, that also have the symbols in Roman numbers. Okay, so I told you that the Romans, they have different rules to represent the numbers. So one by one I will tell you the rule and form the numbers. Now the rules say that out of these symbols, this I, X, C, and M, this I, X, C, and M, I can repeat them. Only these symbols I can repeat. The rest of the symbols like V, L, and D, I cannot repeat them. So these 4 symbols I can repeat, and I can repeat them to the maximum of 3 times only. I cannot repeat them more than 3 times. So if I look at the number 1, so this is 1. If I repeat it 2 times, it will become 2, and if I repeat it 3 times, it will become 3. Now I cannot repeat it more than 3 times. I cannot write 4s like 4 times 1, so this will be wrong. So I can repeat the symbol 1, and I can repeat it only to the maximum of only 3 times. So the next number I can repeat is, the next symbol I can repeat is X. So this X stands for 10. So if I repeat it 2 times, it becomes 20, and if I repeat it 3 times, it becomes 30. Now the next symbol I can repeat is C. C means 100. So if I write C 2 times, it becomes 200, and if I write it 3 times, it becomes 300. And the next symbol that I can repeat is M. M stands for 1000, and if I write this for 2 times, it becomes 2000, and if I repeat for 3 times, it becomes 3000. So the symbol I, X, C, M can be repeated, and they can be repeated maximum up to 3 times. And the rest of the symbols V, L, and D, I cannot subtract. I cannot repeat. Okay. Now if I cannot repeat, then how I am going to write 4? Okay, so we have a next rule for this, which says if I write a smaller symbol to the left of larger symbol, it gets subtracted. So what it means is that, suppose I take this V, this is a larger symbol. If I write to the back of V, to the left of V, if I write 1, it gets subtracted. It means it will become 5. 5 minus 1 is equal to 4. So this is our next rule, which says if smaller symbol is written to the left of the bigger numeral, it gets subtracted. 3 minus 1 is 4. So this is how I write 4. And the symbols which can be subtracted are the same, 1, X, C and M. So I can 1 C and 1 X and C can be subtracted. It means I can write I at the back of V and X. If I write at the back of V, I write 1, it becomes 4, and if I write 1 at the back of X or 10, it becomes 9. So this is how we write 4 and 9. So at the back of V, I write 1, it becomes 4. At the back of 10, I write 1. 10 minus 1 becomes 9. And I can write I at the back of V and X only. And X or 10 I can subtract from 50 and 100 only. What it means is, if to the left of L I write 10, to the left of L I write 10, it means 15 minus 10, it becomes 40, and I write 10 at the back of 100, so it becomes 100 minus 10 is 90. So this is how I write 40. 40 is XL and 90 is XC. Okay, so X can be subtracted from L and C, and C I can subtract from D and M. So to the back of D, if I write C, so 500 minus 100, it becomes 400, and if I write C at the back of M, it becomes 900. 1000 minus C is 900. So this is how I write 400. 400 is 500 minus 100, and 900 is 1000 minus 100 is 900. So the rule was, when I write a smaller symbol at the back of the larger symbol, they get subtracted. Like the same at the back of bigger symbol, if I write a smaller symbol, that gets subtracted. Now the next rule is that if I write a smaller number to the right of a bigger number, now when I wrote smaller number at the back of a bigger number, it gets subtracted. But if the same smaller number I write in the front of a bigger number, it gets added, so it becomes 5 plus 1 is 6. So this is how I form 6. 5 plus 1 is 6. 5 plus 1 becomes 7, and 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 becomes 8. Now I cannot repeat this more than 3 times. So this is how we write 6, 7 and 8. Now the same thing, if I write to the left of 50, I write X, it gets subtracted. But if I write X to the right of L, so it gets added. So 50 plus 10 is 60. So 50 plus 10 plus 10 becomes 70. 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 becomes 80. Now again, when I wrote C at the back of 500, it got subtracted. 500 minus 100 is 400. But if I write in front of D, if I write C, so it gets added. 500 plus 600, 500 plus 100 plus 100, 700, 500 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 becomes 800. So this is how we write the Roman numbers. So if you have learned these symbols, every Roman number you can write. So 900, how you make it? If you write C at the back of 1000, it becomes 900. But if you write C in front of 1000, it will become 1100. 1000 plus 100, 1100. If I add one more, it becomes 1200. If I write one more, it becomes 1300. So hope you have learned these rules. Okay, now I'll come to the exercise. So exercise 1G, if I look at the first question, they have given you the numbers in Hindu Arabic numerals, and I will not take all of them. I am going to take some of them, and in the first question they are asking you to form the write these Hindu Arabic numerals into Roman numbers. So 2, how you write 2? I write 2 like this. So 14 means 10 plus 4. So how do you write 10? 10 is like this and 4 is like this. So this becomes 14. How do you write 61? You can split the numbers according to their place. So like 6 tens become 60 plus 1. So how do you write 60? 50 and 10, 60 and 1. And how 99 means 90 plus 90 plus 9. And how do you write 90? What is the symbol of 90? So at the back of 100, if you write X, it becomes 90. And how do you write 9? So this is 99. So 114. So 114 means at the 100th place is 1. So this becomes 100. This is 1 tens and this is 4. So 114. So how do you write 114? 100 I write as C, 10 I write as X, and 4 I write as this. So this becomes 114. Now come the second question. Here you are given some numbers. I'll take some of them, and they are asking you to convert them into Roman numbers. So let us do. So first of all, I'll split the number according to the piece values. Like this is 100, this is 6 tens or 60, and this is 4. So how do you write 100? C, 60 write as L and X, and 4 write like this. So this becomes 164. Again you split this number. This is 200 plus 20 plus 6. 200s, 2 tens, 20 and 6. So 200, how you write? C and C is 200. 20 is X and X. And how do you write 6? 6 is like this. Now 400 plus 70 plus 5. So 4 is at the 100th place. So you must have understood 4 is at the 100th place. So 400, 7 tens place 70 and 5. So you can put them in expanded form first. So 400, how do you write 400? D, 500 at the back of D. If you put C, this becomes 500 minus hundreds. This is the symbol of 400 plus 70. How do you write 70, 50, 60, 70? And how do you write 5? Like this. Now 611. 600, this is 100th place. This is 10th place, 1st place. 600, 110 plus 1. So 600 is 500 plus 100. So 600 plus 10 is like this, and 1 is like this. Now again write this in expanded form. 700 plus 5 tens are 50 plus 9. So how do you write 700? 500 plus 600 plus 100 plus 100, this becomes 700. How do you write 50? L is 15. How do you write 9? 9 is like this. So this is how you write the Roman numbers. In the third question, they have given you the Roman numbers and they are asking you to convert them into Hindu-Arabic numbers. So I will take some of the examples, like I can take C1, I can take CX1, I can take, so some of the examples I can take now. Look at this. This is 10 plus 10, 20 and 5, 25 plus 1 plus 1. So this becomes 27. 20 and this is 7. Now this is the symbol of 50 and this is the symbol of 4. So 50 plus 4 is 54. Okay. Now XC. What is XC? XC stands for 90 and 1. So 90 plus 1 you have 91. Now this is 100 and this is 11. So this is 111. Now C and C becomes 200 and this is 20. So 220 and this is 4. So 224. So 100, 100, 100. So this becomes 300 and this becomes 50 and this becomes, you can write this way also, and this 10 and this is 5. So this is 300 and 50 plus 10 is 60 and 5. So 365. Now CD. CD stands for 400. 400 and this is 14. So 414 is the answer. Now D stands for 500 and this 2C stands for 200. Then you have 50 and this is 16. 10 and 6 is 16. So all together you have 500 plus 200 is 700 and this is 66. So 700 and 66. So this is how you convert the numbers into Hindu-Arabic numerals. Now come to the fourth question, and they have given you some numbers in the Roman form and they are saying these are meaningless. They don't make any meaning. They are not actually Roman numbers. So why they are not Roman numbers? So we have to give a reason for that. So look at the first number, it's V and C. So V and C, it's written that if I remember, recall the rule that if to the back of this is bigger and this is smaller, to the back of bigger number, if I write a smaller number, it becomes subtracted. So this becomes 100 minus 5, 95. But I can, if you remember the rule, I said only I, X and V. Only I, X, sorry, not V. I, X and C only can be subtracted. Means these symbols only I can write at the back of any number. And this V and L and D, these I cannot subtract. V, L, D I cannot subtract. I can subtract only I, X and C. These three symbols only can come at the back of any number, bigger number, but these I can never write at the back of any number. So V can never be subtracted. So the reason for this is that V is never subtracted. And then the next is I and L. So if again you remember, I said that I can be subtracted from which numbers? Now I can be subtracted only from V and X. Only from V. If I write at the back of V, it becomes 4. If I write at the back of X, it becomes 9. But I never I can subtract I only from V and X and not from L. So what the reason for this is that I can be subtracted from V and X only and not from L. Now look at this, and VV11, here you can see that VV is repeated, and in the beginning I told you which symbols I can repeat. I can repeat only I, X, C and M. Only these can be repeated. I cannot repeat V, I cannot repeat L, and I cannot repeat D. So these cannot be repeated. So what the reason we will give for this, that V never gets repeated. V, L and D never gets repeated. Now it's written as X, and this is 9 and this is 10. So this is again meaningless because 9 cannot be written to the, so this doesn't make any number. 9 cannot be written to the left of X. So we have done this chapter. So hope you have understood this chapter. So go through all the exercises, all the sums, and clarify your doubts in the WhatsApp.